100% tariffs. That's crazy. But it's gonna go in all your favorite Hollywood movies. Heaven forbid we have another movie like Minecraft that made almost $1 billion in the box office. But as catastrophic as this might sound, what if I told you it's actually good? Well, let's break it down step by step, shall we? But first, we have to go specifically to the man himself and see exactly what I said. Cue the character. The movie industry in America is dying. That's going to be a very fast death indeed. Other countries are pulling our very own homegrown American filmmakers down up in there. And little old America is falling apart. This is a concerted effort by other nations, and therefore a national security threat. It is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I'm authorizing the Department of Commerce in the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. You know, that very orange man may have a point. People are hurting in the entertainment business right now in America. And this could be what is needed to help bring back jobs to the industry. So before we go on, let me explain the problem to you a little bit. So right now, biggest competitors right now that are kind of eating at the industry, UK, Canada, and Australia. So let's take the UK for instance. So right now the baseline is 25%. 25% of a tax break. So if you spend 100 million, you're gonna get 25 million back. But that's not the problem. The problem is that that's the base. Because other states have tax breaks as well. Because California's is like 20 to 25%. And Georgia's is like 30. So the problem isn't that. The problem is that in UK you can go up to like 39%. So if you have a $100 million budget, you can get 39 million back. So imagine, why film in California where you're gonna get 25% back, 25 million, where you can film in the UK and get back 39 million. It's interesting because they were saying like, oh yeah, production's leaving Hollywood, it's leaving California, it's moving to Georgia, but now it's leaving Georgia too. So it's like people in the industry, where are they gonna go? New York? New York's only like 25% as well. And the other part that's important, California, there's a cap. Like, if you get to a certain amount of money, then you can't get any more of the credit. That's why Georgia ended up doing so well, because it was like, there was no cap. But UK doesn't have a cap either, so you can get basically 39% tax credit with no cap. So it could be infinite budget. The budget is like Avatar level budgets. Imagine how much money they're getting back. I mean, Avatar isn't even gonna be shot in the US. It's gonna be shot in like Australia, New Zealand area, which literally in Australia, they have a 30% kind of tax rebate that they have. And it can be combined with the territory's own personal rebates, tax breaks that they have in the areas. So you can get a rebate from the whole state of Australia, and then whatever little territory you go to, whatever their incentives are, you also get that in combination. So of course Avatar would want to film in Australia, New Zealand, and not in America. So what is Trump's plan with these tariffs? We can kind of take this from first a business angle. You could, one, try to compete, increase tax credits, maybe make a national US tax credit that kind of like is on par with the British and like the other ones. The thing is, that's gonna cost money. Like, you're gonna lose money if you do this. Brings production back, but you're gonna basically get into like a little bit of a trade war on film, because it's like, well, if US increases it, then they're gonna start going away from like the other places, so then what will they do in return? But what Trump did is kind of smarter. Instead of getting into this like deficit, he just was like, okay, we're gonna charge you a tariff if you film outside of America. Now, of course, how the hell are you gonna apply this? Is this going on movie sales? Is this going on streaming? If it's a streaming thing, does it apply? Does it matter if it's like partially in America, partially outside? Like, there's no really clarity on the standards. And that's on purpose. With this, you have basically this 100% tariff on the productions for films that have been made outside the US. So, one, it's only really enforceable in the US. Okay. But that US is one of the biggest film markets. Like, the other ones bigger are maybe like China, India, but like, they're a little bit isolated. Like, India has their whole Bollywood thing, and China, yes, they have some like international things where they take some films and stuff, but like, mostly, a lot of the Chinese films are made for Chinese, and the same thing for India. because those are the only two markets that could be comparable to the US in size. You have basically one of the world's biggest markets in the US. So whatever kind of says and happens in there is what kind of needs to be followed. So what does this do? I'm willing to bet that they're not even going to have these tariffs on that for that long. Why do you ask? The reason is because Trump has proven in the past, if you watch any politics, to use tariff as negotiating tools. Because while the tariff is on, the US is making money. Whenever they use it on other countries, if they didn't want to come to the table, well, US is racking in the dough. So this is the same thing for here. While this tariff is on, US will be racking in the dough, and it forces Hollywood executives and others to kind of come to Trump to make a deal. And don't get me wrong, you can't tell me that they wouldn't rather film in their home. Like, if you were based in California or like Georgia, do you really want to be like moving all your film equipment, like actors, and like going overseas? Like, if it's an overseas film, like maybe like a House of Dragons, Lord of the Rings thing, then yeah, sure, they'll do it because they want the scenery in specific locations. But if you're just making a sound stage in like UK, like, you can make a sound stage in your backyard. They've already built a lot of infrastructure in Hollywood, so it's like they want to use it. So they're gonna come and probably propose some ideas what they want to see. The big executives, like, you know, it's gonna be like Universal, Disney, and like all those people, Warner Brothers. I'd imagine they kind of settle on something, maybe a tax credit, maybe a tax incentive, or it could just be something else. Something that kind of allows productions to be more affordable in America. Why did a lot of the film move to Georgia? Because of the incentives, because of tax credits. There was literally a movie where it was like, I think somewhere in Florida, Ybor City. They literally, instead of filming in Ybor City, they built Ybor City in Georgia and filmed it there. Because you save more money with the tax credits in Georgia, because Florida doesn't really have tax credits anymore. So imagine what productions will be willing to go to in order to move and save money in these productions. It's millions of dollars. This isn't like, yes, there's small budget and medium budget films, but like, we have $100 million budget. 10 million saved is a lot, and they're saving, so you would literally move productions to save 10 million. Now, let's kind of talk a little bit about the political angle just for fun. Trump and Hollywood don't mesh. Ironic because Hollywood made Trump. Wouldn't it be in his best interest to like get on Hollywood's good side? Like, Georgia's a swing state. I know he won in this last election and lost in the last election. So wouldn't you want to cement it like, oh, I'm bringing your film jobs for crew and actors back to Georgia, back to California, and New York? People are going to be happy about that. Like, right now, the industry is like pretty bad. Like, there's just not enough work in comparison to how many people are looking for work. Supply is really, really low for film. And it's been for a while, especially since COVID and the strikes. If he starts bringing back jobs, like, maybe you're not going to get like the most ardent haters to come to him, but he would get like more moderates, like fence sitter voters. And that could be enough in a swing state to kind of help. Now, of course, part of me just feels like he wants to be back in this little Hollywood circle like he was, but I digress. So another thing that's interesting is that a lot of these actors come from other countries. And one specifically that has been kind of like filling the headlines now is Pedro Pascal. But do you realize that his family was literally listed as an enemy of the state? That's literally crazy. And if you want to find out kind of what's going on there, you gotta check out this video right here.